Are we going? I can never tell on YouTube if we're going.
It says we're going.
We're going. Whoa! What's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
Welcome to the 100 and something edition of the Nightly Morning Show here live on our YouTube channel. We get Nerdy Nightly.
And we thought we'd share it with you.
All right. Well, Clarus is going to go turn off whatever is in the bedroom echoing our show. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. I should know how many of these we've done, but I genuinely don't. Good morning, Rebel. Good morning, Rhiannon. How is everybody this morning? Welcome to the Nightly Morning Show. What was it?
Your laptop.
That's sad.
Whatever.
All right. Well, welcome into the Nightly Morning Show. Brought to you this morning by our patrons over at patreon.com/nerdynightly. They are the backbone of the Nerdy Nightly. I can't keep saying Nerdy Nightly.
You can if you want.
I don't want to.
Okay.
It's too many times.
Well.
And I just want to start the show off by saying a huge thank you to them for keeping the wheels on the bus going round and round. We're going to start the show this morning the way we always do by asking my beautiful wife, Clarus, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Our plans for this week kind of got a little thrown off.
Yeah.
So our week looks a little different. Originally, we were supposed to be finishing the show and then rushing off to Windsor for a photo shoot.
Mm-hmm.
But the weather was not in our favor, so that has had to be rescheduled. But that means I can stream tonight. So
yeah.
I'm happy about that.
What are you playing tonight?
Subnautica.
Subnautica.
Yeah. And then back to Witcher on Wednesday.
Creature. Toss a coin to him. And you know what? I didn't add it into the rundown. I guess it's part of the whole E3 thing. But there's going to be a Witcher Con next month.
A Witcher Con?
Yeah, like a Witcher convention. Online Witcher convention. Keep your eyes peeled for that. There's going to be a lot of information. We're probably going to get our first full trailer for The Witcher Season 2 on Netflix.
Makes sense, yeah.
They released like a 40-second Siri teaser thing. We didn't do a reaction because it was really short and there wasn't much to it. But
less than a minute. Okay.
Siri looks older.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, the photo shoot's gonna have to wait, which is kind of a shame. But the whole point of the photo shoot involves something outside. I don't know if you've said what it is, so not to spoil.
No,
but it is raining, and so we literally couldn't.
Yeah, we can't. But good morning, everybody. It's really nice to see y'all here.
Morning, Subnautica.
Exactly.
That's right. Good morning, Muddles.
How you doing?
How am I doing? I am good, y'all. We beat Gen 3 last night. We beat Pokemon Emerald in the Nerdy Lock Challenge.
After wiping, too.
Yep, thanks for that.
No, it's good. It's good. You crushed it.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for reminding me.
You're welcome.
I will never look at Kingdra the same way after this. Kingdra's an absolute monster of a Pokemon.
He's a dick.
I mean, sure.
He's rude.
He's really kind. He just...
How do you know? Have you met him?
No, I've not met him. Sorry if you can hear construction noise. There is some construction going on outside of our apartment. But to start the show today, it is E3. So I figured the best way to start the show, before we get into our main topic, I wanted to ask you, Clarus, so far with the E3 presentations and things that you've seen, what are some highs, what are some lows? Let's maybe start with the highs.
Okay. Start with the highs. From the stuff that we've seen, there's a few things that I'm really excited for, and a few new things as well. That one trailer really stuck out to me, 12 minutes. It looks like a really interesting game, and I don't even fully understand what it is, but there's some really incredible people in it.
I'm a sucker for time loop stuff.
Yeah, it looks really dope. The new game that Bethesda's working on,
Redfall,
actually looks really cool.
I like vampires.
Yeah. Like I don't know if I don't know. I want to play it, but I don't know. I don't know if it'll be for me. I'll probably try it.
Clarus does not handle horror well.
No.
The Bethesda. We watched the Bethesda panel live on stream. If you want to join us for another one of those live watch alongs, tomorrow at noon Eastern, we are going to be doing a live watch along of the Nintendo E3 presentation. But we did watch the Bethesda one live, and there were a couple things I wanted to bring up. They mentioned Elder Scrolls 6 once in passing.
In passing.
That
was a low for sure.
The Halo stuff. Because it's Xbox Bethesda now, obviously. It's not just Bethesda.
Yeah.
The Halo stuff looked good. I just need this game to come out. And they did not, speaking of time loops, they did not say anything about Deathloop. Deathloop, for those you don't know, is a time loop based shooter game, sort of like a roguelite shooter, I think. And what's interesting about it is that it is a Bethesda game that they were originally making for PlayStation. And so I was wondering if at the Xbox Bethesda panel were we going to hear about this game that wasn't going to be on Xbox.
Right.
We did not. And I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
However, I'm really excited for Deathloop. I think that game looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to play it. So I wish that we gotten to learn some more information about that game in the panel. But at the same time, I also understand why Xbox was like, hey, maybe don't talk about that one.
Yeah. Yeah, they kind of can't. It looks weird if they do. So,
a couple of other standouts for me so far. The Elden Ring trailer looks really good.
It looks really cool. That was my favorite one so far.
And I liked that Guardians of the Galaxy game.
Yeah, it looks cool.
It looks interesting. I like that it's a single player. I like... Because, when I first saw the way that Peter Quill, Star-Lord, was moving around, I got a couple of flashbacks to the Avengers Crystal Dynamics game.
Okay.
And we're actually going to be talking about that next. But I was like, I don't really need another games as service Marvel game. Like, why would you have two of them back to back? So to find out that this is a single player story driven game where you get to like direct the Guardians to help you out in the missions, I think it's actually really fun, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah, it looks cool. Like, that's coming out really soon too.
Yeah, October, I think.
Yeah, which. Like, I didn't know it was happening, so I was kind of surprised to see it coming out so quickly, but...
Crazy that October is very soon.
Yeah, for a game, yeah.
Well, no, I just mean, like, October is soon. It's June.
I know.
It's like halfway through June.
Yeah, it is.
Like, October is not that far away, which is...
Wild.
Painful.
That's when our lease is up.
Yep, And then we'll be homeless. It'll be great.
No.
Y'all, in the chat, I would love if you guys would drop, if you've been watching E3 stuff, what is sticking out to you.
Yeah.
What your favorites are.
Yeah, what looks interesting? What do you think you'll be picking up?
What are some of the things that you feel have been, maybe not as successful?
Well, I mean, everyone wanted to hear about Elder Scrolls, but that was never going to happen. Unfortunately. It is what it is. I'm not surprised. I was hopeful, but I'm not surprised. Yeah, I don't know. There haven't been any, like, I'm trying to think if there are any, like, horrible...
I know you didn't watch the Square Enix panel, but, oh boy, Square Enix really,
What happened?
You know what? I think that game companies and gamers are in a different place, if I'm going to be completely honest. And I think that's what it is. The Square Enix panel showed off a lot of mobile games. And for Square Enix, those probably make a lot of money. But for gamers, I feel... And it's not all gamers, right? Because I don't want to say that there's a difference between mobile gamers and console gamers. There isn't. All gamers are gamers. But in my opinion... the kinds of gamers who are more likely to tune into an E3 presentation are probably not as heavily mobile gamers.
Mobile gamers. Yeah.
And so I feel like it might have just been the financial side of making money on mobile for Square Enix makes sense. And the games they're putting out there makes sense. Putting out all of the original Final Fantasy games on mobile is really cool.
Yep.
I personally would have loved if it would come to the Switch, since a lot of those games are already on mobile, which was a little weird. But getting a lot of mobile games is great. I have nothing against that. I just think that for their presentation, it was kind of lackluster, right?
Yeah.
And it started off with what's going to be our second topic, with the announcement that Black Panther is coming to Crystal Dynamics' Avengers in August, which is a whole... We're going to talk about that as its own thing. That's our title story today. But I feel like the... I feel like the Square Enix presentation as a presentation wasn't as successful as it could have been.
That sucks.
Hero of Wind is saying that Rune Factory 5 English release was announced, which is awesome. I know that Miller, Hero of Wind plays that in Japanese. He's a big fan.
The one that, other one that did stand out to me, not that I think that I will play, because it's not my kind of game, but I gotta agree with Nicholas, Battlefield 2042 looked really cool.
We did the trailer reaction last week, and we were blown away by that game.
Yeah, I'm not a shooters person, but I can really appreciate the game.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The Battlefield 2042 maps look unbelievable.
Yeah.
A Rebel Trooper is saying they really like Starfield.
It looks cool.
It does.
But we haven't seen much.
I just don't know what it is yet.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of game it is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
giving me like the Mass Effect vibes that I love, so I'm happy, but...
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the Siege game is, Hero of Wind. Nicholas Smith agrees with us. Yeah, wants to know more about Starfield before getting too hyped. That makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Miller's saying a lot of these games aren't being made for Western markets, though. The Asian market is huge. That is really true, Hero of Wind. I agree with you. I would say, though, that this presentation was made for Western markets. And so in terms of...
Yeah,
I think it's...
the content was a little disparaged between, like, the presentation itself.
Yeah, I mean, the whole point of these presentations is to get hype in the Western market, right? Like,
yeah.
For the most part. I think that, like, game sales these days are built on the backbone of hype. And so if you don't present the game to the right market the right way, you're gonna, even if you have a great game, the wrong presentation can hit wrong, you know what I mean? And you can end up in a position where you are not getting the hype that you should get because of where and when you present it. Where and when you put out something is more important than what it actually is, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It was something we talked a lot about with the Black Widow trailers that we didn't love as much. And I was like, well, this trailer doesn't function in a advertisement campaign the way that it should because of the pandemic. And so it's not hyping me up for the movie in the right way because it's like a rehash of a trailer I've already seen. And so, and that's not saying that any of these did that. I'm just saying there's a really important emphasis in marketing on when and where. And I feel like Square Enix maybe didn't hit the mark on that, even though the content of the trailers that they put out was all pretty much good. There was one game, I can't remember what it's called, but it didn't look good. But I think that this was more of a when and where situation.
Gotcha.
Nicholas Smith brought up Jack Sparrow showing up in the Sea of Thieves presentation.
Yeah, that was a surprise. If you were there for our live watch along, I was like, is that Calypso from Pirates of the Caribbean? And then it literally was Jack Sparrow, and I was like, oh no, it is. It's literally like. Which I think is cool. I think it's smart of them. Each thing has its own fan base, and I think that they're going to come together and make something really cool. I've never played Sea of Thieves, but I kind of want to now.
Well, I'm in the same boat. Like, I've never even thought about buying Sea of Thieves, except for the fact that we have some friends who play it together, and I wouldn't mind joining them. Yeah. But now I'm like, well, I guess I would like to play through Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, as a pirate. Like, that sounds fun.
Yeah, it sounds fun. Shin, for me, Elden Ring looks really, really cool. That's what stood out. That and 12 Minutes were kind of the two that I was like... Yeah.
So tomorrow...
There was also... I'm trying to remember what it was called. That Little Nightmares-esque game. Where it was like the family...
Extraction or Escape or...
No.
Something like that. It's the Alien Invasion 16-bit game.
16-bit? No. Was it?
Yeah, the art style was like all like pixely.
I guess. Yeah, anyways, can't remember. It was cool.
So tomorrow is the Nintendo Direct. I don't know if they're calling it a Direct. It is a Nintendo E3 presentation. Yeah. That's at noon. There are a lot of Zelda rumors. I think we'll probably hear something about Pokemon. I feel like we'll hear something about the Pokemon remakes. I feel like if they're going to announce anything about Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, it'll be, we might get some information about, like, Mega Evolutions being in the game or something like that if they're bringing Megas back. Gotcha. Which I think a lot of people would like. I think people would like Dynamaxing to stay in Galar and for Mega Evolutions to come back.
Gotcha. Okay.
And good morning, Kate. Hey, friend. I think we'd all love to play Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah. I just want to make out with Jack Sparrow.
Honestly, they're all of them.
Yeah, I know, that whole cast. That whole cast is so hot. It's wild. Nicholas Smith saying Avatar looks cool. I totally forgot Avatar. Yeah. There have been so many announcements that it feels like Avatar was like a week ago.
Yeah. Avatar looks cool. Yeah. I thought the graphics looked really great. I think the idea is really I think it's dope. We'll probably get that one.
Avatar, yeah, probably.
Yeah, we'll probably get that one.
All right, y'all, let's move on to... Ooh, gosh, this mouse is not working now. Let's move on to our second story of the day, which is tied to our first story. which is going back into that Square Enix announcement that Black Panther is coming to Crystal Dynamics' Avengers Games as Service game.
But is it too little too late?
Yeah, and this was the question I wanted to ask, right? Because I don't think there's any doubt that Black Panther is one of the biggest characters in the world right now.
Yeah.
The movie was an absolute dynamite success, and, you know, not to be insensitive about it, but I think that there is an element of Chadwick Boseman's recent passing, tragic and you know, and devastating passing, that catapulted the character into a sort of legendary status now.
Yep.
You know, I think that there's a cultural relationship with this character and this actor that have become even more entrenched because of the way that he passed.
Yeah. Can you believe it's been almost a year?
That's wild. Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
And so, you know, I think that putting Black Panther in something right now is always going to be a good idea. Black Panther is going to sell tickets.
Yeah.
You know, for a while. Like, the cultural resonance of that character, for what it means to the Black community, for how it kind of, like, changed cinema, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think Black Panther is going to be a landmark moment in how movies are made moving forward, in terms of diversity and in terms of who gets to be a lead of a movie.
Yep.
And so I think that putting Black Panther in your game, great idea. Black Panther should have been a day one character. The fact that there was only one person of color that was playable on the day one.
Do better.
I love the way they handled Kamala Khan. I want to be really clear. I love the way she was in the game. Miss Marvel was amazing. She is one of my favorite Marvel characters. I really adore her. But, you know, we're getting Black Panther a year into the game.
Yeah.
Do you think that it can bring players back to a game that is struggling to find players?
I don't think it's gonna help them long term. I think there'll be an initial hype. People will come in, people will try it, and then I don't think it'll be enough. And so the same problems that are still present in the game are still going to be there, and people are just going to drop off again. I think so. I'm no expert, but that's just kind of what it feels like. But yeah, putting Black Panther in there is a good choice. I think you were too late.
Yeah, it is interesting. I feel like, they would have to like change the structure of the game to keep people playing long term, which is a shame because if you are all here from before the Nightly Morning Show was even on the channel, I was so excited for this game.
I know.
I reviewed the beta test really well. I reviewed a lot of I reviewed the game launch, like the story, really well on the channel when it came out. I really, really enjoyed this for the first, 15 hours. And I still hold, I think the story mode of this game is actually pretty solid. I think it's fun. I really enjoyed it. I like the characters. The character modeling, I agree, is a little rough in some places. Captain America, in particular, doesn't look great to me.
Sometimes the Hulk, too.
The Hulk's hair is hilariously bad. Anytime the Hulk has hair is like chef's kiss. Oh my god, it's so funny.
But in the bad way.
Yeah. But the game to me really falls off after you beat the story. The end game content to me isn't fun, which is the most important part of a games as service game. And I don't think Black Panther being introduced into the game will change that. However, I do think there will be an initial blip of interest from people who probably already own it, or I could see them putting this on the PlayStation Plus or Game Pass or something like that in August in conjunction with this to get players into the game. Hopefully get them to buy the $10 Game Pass to level up their Black Panther. I could see them doing something like that. Make the game free to play, put with Black Panther.
Yeah.
Nicholas Smith in the chat is bringing up that Spider-Man was supposed to be released at the beginning of this year as well. And I think Spider-Man could do a lot for sales of this game. The problem is PlayStation exclusive. So if you want Spider-Man, you have to have a PS4 or a PS5. And that is that's not going to bring in the large number of players that a game like this would like to see. Yeah,
I don't think it's going to be enough. I really don't know if there is enough at this point that actually could make a huge. Yeah, it's interesting. I really enjoyed my initial gameplay of this. And I love the Avengers. And so I wanted this game to be like my Destiny 2. I wanted this to be like my game that I plug in for a couple hours every night. Or an hour, that I did my dailies every day because I enjoyed being in the world. Yeah.
And the truth is, like, I didn't even last a week.
Yeah.
And that's just not enough content for something like this. And I don't know. I don't think Black Panther is going to save it. Even though if any character could, it would be Black Panther.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think they screwed up.
Hero of Wind, can you have DLC that is exclusive to one console? That's what they're doing. Yeah, Miller. So here's the thing. Because Sony owns the character of Spider-Man, they have said that Spider-Man will only appear in the PlayStation version of Crystal Dynamics Avengers game. And so...
Makes it complicated.
Yeah,
it doesn't bode well for the game. Unfortunately, it's probably going to die off. This is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming they've already announced that Spider-Man's coming, so I'm assuming they'll get to that point. I'm assuming Spider-Man will get released probably around the holidays, maybe like October, November. Mm-hmm. They'll try and get like a boost of players in around Christmas time when people have new consoles and stuff. I feel like a lot of games like this tend to try and do that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I have a feeling Spider-Man will be the final... will be the final new character, and then they'll kind of ride it out.
Yeah. Unless
they're still making money, but like I have a couple of friends who have tried to play it recently, and they've said that the queue lines to get into a match are just ungodly long.
Yeah.
So I don't personally see that happening. But...
Yeah, like if you're waiting longer than like 5 minutes, you're just gonna put on another game.
Yeah. Switch over to Valorant and come play with us. All right. Well. Before we go into our halftime show, let's really quickly talk about the fact that we have a title for the upcoming sequel to James Wan's Aquaman movie. Aquaman 2 is officially going to be titled Aquaman: The Lost Kingdom. I am so excited.
I know.
Aquaman, for those who don't know, is my favorite superhero. There's not much more to the story other than we have a title, but we have a title. Mm-hmm. And I'm getting my boy... Arthur Curry back on screen, probably with Black Manta as like the main villain this time instead of the secondary villain, which will be great. Yahya Abdul-Mateen is an unbelievable actor, mm-hmm. With unbelievable penis if you've seen Watchmen.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Watchmen on HBO. It's a television show.
Sorry, I was not expecting that.
That was just a good reaction out of my way.
Oh, God.
There's a reason why this is marked as explicit on the podcast feed.
Yeah, just in case.
Hero, when you've not seen Aquaman, go watch Aquaman. What are you doing?
It's fun. It's not like, I don't know. Well, in terms of DC movies, actually, it's definitely in the top ones because a lot of them are really bad. It's good. I enjoyed it. The visuals are really, really cool. I'm excited for the second one. When is it supposed to come out?
I'm assuming it'll come out late next year.
Okay.
Yeah, right? Because we'll get Batman in like May, June probably. Mm-hmm. There's a date. I know there's already a date for Batman. I just don't know what it is off the top of my head. And then we'll get... So Suicide Squad 2's this year. Batman's early next year. Shazam is filming, so that'll probably come out next year.
Right.
And Black Adam will come out next year as well.
Right. Okay, so yeah, they've got a lot.
I'm pretty sure Suicide Squad is the only DC movie coming out the rest of the year.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, now with that story out of the way, it's time.
Are you sure that Miller's your brother?
Yep.
Okay, just checking.
It's time for our favorite segment. Clarus makes up the news.
It's so early. Why?
Because it's the halftime show.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm just gonna look at my iPad while you try and do this.
Wow. Are you gonna time me? No, Miller, you're fine. I understand. It's just funny because David loves them so much. Also, some of them are really good. I can suggest. Stop it. Stop it. Well, we're gonna have some news, and it's gonna be fake. What?
No, that was funny.
Oh.
I just enjoyed that. It was good.
Thanks. So the news is that oh my gosh, wow, we just got another E3 announcement.
Oh my god, another E3 announcement.
That's so cool. cool. Wow. Okay, so it looks like Bethesda is working on another new game.
Oh wow.
Actually,
they're very busy.
They're very, very busy. This one you're gonna like this.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna like this one a lot, actually. They have bought the rights. Don't ask me how. That's like very complicated. They are going to be making a new game, and the main character is going to be R2-D2, but in an alternate universe.
Oh,
so
wow.
He's actually the villain. So you're gonna be playing as R2-D2.
Wait, so you get to play as an evil R2-D2?
Yes, exactly.
What's the plot?
Well, the plot is it's like one of those like it doesn't have much of like a storyline. The main storyline is actually pretty quick. It's only a couple hours. Basically, R2-D2 infiltrates the rebel base and then just like zaps the computer systems and shuts everything down, and it's very easy. But the fun part of it is that there's like a tag version where you're running around the rebel base and you just have to zap as many people as you can, and the main idea is to get as high a score as possible to see how many people you can zap.
So Bethesda
Yeah.
is making a small R2-D2 tag game?
Yep. Yeah. It's also going to be available on mobile. Yeah.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
The main hero of the story, who's like your antagonist, is C-3PO.
Shocked.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
So like he's like, you know how he's like gold, and when you play games like
you know how he is
shut up
gold.
Shut up. It's like, you know, when you have like the gold thing is worth more. Yeah, it's worth 10 points if you can zap C-3PO.
This is so bad, but I just picture R2 like going around like the rebel base on Hoth and just shoving his little like poker stick up into people's butt cheeks.
That's what he can reach, so that makes sense.
Just like zapping C-3PO in its butt. Oh my.
Hey, you never know. I'm sure somebody's probably made like a knockoff.
It's so weird. How did you think of that?
I saw your R2-D2 mini thing, Funko, and we were talking about E3, so
cool. All right, well, that's the news.
There you have it.
It's time to head into everybody's least favorite segment.
VR capable.
Capable R2-D2
but
tag.
Only on your phone, on the like VR that you put literally your phone in front of your eyeballs.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk about the weekend box office, and we have absolutely massive news.
Oh my god, y'all ready for this?
For the first time since the pandemic began, a movie made in the United States of America has passed $100 million at the domestic box office. Was it Godzilla vs. Kong? No. Godzilla vs. Kong stalled at $99.6 million.
Aw, that's sad.
And is no longer in theaters. But The Quiet Place Part 2 has passed $100 million at the pandemic box office, which is... I have kind of chills right now. This is such good news, y'all. Because it means that we might get theaters back.
Yeah, of course we're getting theaters
but like
back.
that theaters might survive this. It means that people are willing to go to the theater. And this is so important. Because there was always a chance that theaters would open back up, but that there would be hesitancy, that people wouldn't be willing to show up for them. And we are in a position now where, you know, a movie like The Quiet Place Part 2 making $100 million is more than success for that movie. It is success for a box office that needs to have a really good summer. I'm just going to be honest. These movie theaters need to have a good summer.
Yeah.
And the fact that people are willing to show up for Quiet Place, I think is an incredible sign that there's potential for these movie theaters to make some of their money back, dig out of the debt holes that they found themselves in because of the pandemic.
The dead holes.
No, but seriously, you know, like AMC had to sell a lot of stock.
No, I know.
You know, like these companies need a boost right now. And so I just, seeing $100 million next to a movie that came out 3 weeks ago is absolutely huge in my opinion.
Yeah. In
terms of the long-term viability of an art form that I absolutely love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I love going to the movies. And the fact that I haven't been to a movie in almost a year is really tough for me. I hate it. And I'm so happy to see that Quiet Place Part 2 succeed like this, because it means that, you know, companies like AMC and Cineplex and Regal and Cinemark and all these companies that are places where I find so much joy and where I've spent so much of my life when I'm having a bad day, when I'm having, you know, tough times, I go to the movies. That's how I comfort myself. You know, I go to the movies, I get my little icy, and I sit by myself and I watch a movie. And that's when I had a bad audition. That's how I would get over it. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, this just means a lot. This is a big moment. A lot of interesting industry insiders are saying that this is probably because A Quiet Place Part 2 is only in theaters. And so movies like Godzilla vs. Kong, which would have crossed $100 million if
it had just been in theaters.
If it had just been in theaters, didn't. But they're still going to make that money anyway, so it doesn't matter. Another movie that opened this weekend that is also on HBO Max is In the Heights. In the Heights is a musical film that is based on a show that I absolutely adore. I saw In the Heights 3 times on Broadway. I really love the show. In the Heights underperformed, unfortunately, though, and only came in with $11.4 million, coming in second place to A Quiet Place Part 2 at $11.6 million. So In the Heights came in second, and in third was the other new movie, Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway, at $10.4 million. The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, came in at $10,020,000, which means that the top 4 movies this weekend are all within just under $2 million of each other.
Yeah.
Which is wild. Cruella only had a 38% drop this weekend to $6.7 million, and that rounds out our top 5. But it should be noted that Raya the Last Dragon has definitely reached the end of its line here. It dropped 85% this weekend to just over $185,000, and dropped from number 5 to number 12. So it looks like Raya the Last Dragon is pretty much done. There's just too many kids movies and
there's other stuff to see.
What?
Nothing.
What?
I'm excited.
What are you excited for?
The Croods.
Oh! Wait, did you guys want to talk about the Croods?
I think chat is asking for it. Yes.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did people want to know what happened with the Croods?
Interesting. Well, it's very fascinating, actually.
Yeah, oh my god, look at that.
Wow.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have big news. Sorry I buried the lead on this. I thought it would be fun if we talked about everything else first, because this is what we have to talk about. The Croods 2. The Croods 2, A New Age, has pulled in another $65,000. Now, this is interesting because it is 15% more than it made last weekend. How did it do that? I don't know.
The morning show. Y'all went out and watched The Croods.
The Croods 2, A New Age, went up by 15.5%. Its domestic total is now $58.47 million. Now, what's really important about that number is that Tenet is at 58 point... Damn it, I went to the wrong page. Give me 1 second. Because I want to make sure I get this number exactly right. I want to make sure I get this number exactly right. It is at 58.45. So, as of now, last week we talked about how on the numbers.com the Croods was already ahead. But as of right now, on every single site that pulls domestic box office that I can find, the Croods is officially the winner.
Well done. Well done, Croods.
The Croods: A New Age has officially passed Tenet at the domestic box office, and I've never been happier.
Yeah,
I've truly never been happier than I am in this moment.
The peak of happiness right here. Sorry, babe. But
I'm so glad this movie that we haven't seen beat another movie
that we thought was fine.
That we thought was hard to listen to.
Oh,
I think that's fair. I don't think there's anyone out there who's like, no, Tenet's sound design was great.
Yeah, no.
Has it passed any Marvel or DC movies? No.
No. It hasn't, like, made a ton of money, but it made more than Tenet, and that's what matters. That's what matters. Why does it matter? We don't know.
We can't remember. There was a point, I mean, it's recorded, so there was a point on the show where I was like, I wonder if it'll beat Tenet. And then we became obsessed with this idea with Croods 2 beating Tenet at the domestic box office.
I don't know what happened.
And it did.
I'm so proud.
I don't know. I think there's something so funny about David Tennant's movie losing to not David Tennant.
Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan.
Wow, wrong Tenet.
About Christopher Nolan losing to the Croods at the box office. Like, that's just, like, hilarious to me. Because it's only a pandemic thing, right? Like, in a normal world, there's no way that happens.
No.
It's a Christopher Nolan movie. Like,
yeah.
You know, I didn't like Tenet as... I liked it more than you did, I think. But I still found it impossible to listen to. Like, I thought the sound design was not good.
Yeah.
And even the fact that I didn't love it, I will go see every Christopher Nolan movie on day one, because when his movies hit, they are my favorite movies. Like, The Prestige to me is a masterpiece. Dark Knight, Batman Begins, Dunkirk, all masterpieces. Inception, not quite a masterpiece in my opinion. I know people love it. I really like it. It's a fantastic movie. It's just, you know, it's my 5th favorite Christopher Nolan movie.
Right.
Wow. It's so sad for him.
Yeah.
I've never actually seen Memento's his as well, right?
No idea.
There's one movie, his first movie, the movie he did before Prestige, is the only Christopher Nolan movie I haven't seen, which I want to watch because I've heard it's good. But
okay.
The only bad Christopher Nolan movie, in my opinion, is The Dark Knight Rises. But that's just because I have reasons.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. Oh, have you seen the bad lip reading of Dark Knight Rises?
No.
Do you like strawberries? They're high in fiber. It's very funny. If you ever need a good laugh, go watch the bad lip readings of The Dark Knight Rises, because his lips aren't moving. He has a mask on, so they can just make him say whatever they want, and it's fantastic.
That's amazing.
I need more coffee. I do need more. I always need more coffee, Rebel.
Yeah, that's nothing new.
We have some really good news at the international box office for a lot of the movies that we just talked about. I do want to bring up Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, did really well at the international box office this weekend. Sorry, my iPad's moving a little slow here. I want to make sure I get these numbers right for y'all who care. Conjuring and Cruella have both passed 100 million internationally, which is great to see. Cruella had a decent second weekend in China, and Quiet Place Part 2 is at $183 million internationally, which is absolutely just massive for that movie. I'm pretty sure it's paced pretty decently ahead of the first one too, which is really awesome. Peter Rabbit 2 is also doing well in China. It has a 9.2 on Maoyan. It's like kind of like their Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, okay.
And how well movies do on Maoyan is a real indicator of how much money they're going to make. So 9.2 is ahead of the first installment's 8.9. There also doesn't seem to be any controversy with Peter Rabbit 2. The first movie had the controversy where Peter Rabbit threw a blueberry into the antagonist's mouth, causing an allergic reaction, and mothers were really upset because they were saying that kids on the playground were going to try and murder each other with allergies after that.
Right. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I get it, but also I don't get it. Demon Slayer has gone on, is still crushing it worldwide. Demon Slayer has become the biggest anime title of the last 20 years in the UK. So that movie is still making money internationally, and we need to watch it. I really want to watch the Demon Slayer, the first season of the show, into the movie.
Yeah, that would be good.
Nicholas Smith wants to know, are we excited for F9?
No.
I'm really apprehensive, Nicholas Smith, because I love the Fast movies.
I don't know why.
I love that franchise. I really do. I like all of them. There's a couple that are rougher than others, but I like them all, and I love some of them a lot. Fast 5 to me is like one of the best action movies of the last 20 years, I think. You liked Fast 5.
Yeah, I did. But, like, I don't love the franchise as a whole.
I love the franchise.
And now I can say that because I've seen them all.
Yeah, you've seen all of them.
Now I have an opinion.
We are going to be putting out a video in the next week here, probably, that will be, we're going to rank the entire Fast franchise. Like we did with our DC movie rankings before Snyder Cut, That'll probably come out next week on Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah, looking forward to that. So, you know, I don't want to say too much right now, but unfortunately the reviews for Fast 9 have not been stellar. And so I'm excited to see a movie, but I'm not necessarily excited for Fast 9.
I'm apprehensive about... I have not loved the more ridiculous they get, the less interested I get. The thing I love about Fast 5 so much is that all of the driving stunts feel practical, and I know that a lot of them are like fully practical. And I feel like the further the Fast franchise has gotten away from practical driving stunts, the less interesting it is to look at, and so it's less fun. And like Fast 8 to me had a lot of stuff that I didn't really love, particularly how they handled Dom's character. And some of the more ridiculous sequences that don't even look like they're people driving the cars. I know there are scenes where literally people aren't driving the cars. But, you know, Fast 5 and Fast 6 to me, and Fast 4, as far as stunts go, those driving stunts all felt really practical, and I loved that about the franchise. And the further they've gotten away from that, the less interested I am. And I know that a lot of the driving in this upcoming Fast movie is CGI because of the magnet situation and everything they're doing with that and the flying cars, stuff that you just physically can't do in real life. And so the more they've gotten into that territory, the less the franchise is what I loved about it from the first one, which is that they're drag racers. And yeah, I don't know. I'm apprehensive about Fast 9. I'm worried that it's going to be a bit too ridiculous for my taste, and that there won't be those practical stunts. Yeah. I'm the same. Like, the series kind of lost me in Fast 6, to be honest. So. The stunts look better than One Roman 84. Well, to be fair, the CGI in One Roman 84 is not great. Yeah, it's not that hard. It's not good. There is one scene, I really am so struck by it still. The scene where she's running in DC before she, like, leaps into the air after, near the end of the movie, there's a scene where Wonder Woman is running through the streets, and she's, like, speed running, and it just doesn't look good. No. And it's baffling because it's such an expensive movie, and some of the stunts in that movie look amazing. Yeah. Some of the CGI is so good, but there's this one shot that's it's so stuck out to me. Yeah, it's not good. That's a shame. God, I wanted to love that movie. Me too. Y'all, let's move on. Let's move on to what's left. Oh my gosh, this one's for you, Clarus. We have a new animated Lord of the Rings movie coming, The War of the Rohirrim. Yep. This movie is going to be coming from Amazon because they own that franchise now. Although, interesting, they don't own the Lord of the Rings story. They only own everything else. So they can't actually make a Lord of the Rings story. Oh, okay. I learned that today from a Deadline article. Amazon cannot make a Frodo takes the ring to Mordor story. Interesting. So their stuff has to be all the surrounding materials. Honestly, good. Yeah. Like, don't touch it. Fair. Those movies are perfect. There is not a thing, there is not a hair that I would change. Those movies are perfect. Yeah. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. But I'm excited. I'm always excited for more Lord of the Rings. I'm a little nervous. I remember the first thing I said to you was like, well, you know, the history with Lord of the Rings animated stuff is not great. But honestly, those movies were made in like the early 20s. I know, with like $10,000. No, they're made in the late 70s? 70 and like 70, like 9 and I think like 83 or something like that. Somewhere around that timeline. Heroin is bringing up that there is a petition to ban nudity in the Amazon Lord of the Rings stuff. It's already filmed, so... Yeah, it's not gonna happen. They're not gonna like censor it out with emojis, like... Yeah. No, there will be nudity in the Lord of the Rings live action show. I don't think there will be in the animated show. I have Probably a feeling. Probably not. Yeah, I'm really excited for this. I know Peter Jackson isn't involved, but they have his blessing, which is weird because they don't need it, I guess. But no. I guess it's nice to be like, hey, cool, we're making this. Yeah, I guess. If I was Peter Jackson and they asked, I'd be like, yeah, I don't care. Well, I don't know. He put a lot of heart and soul Yeah, but he doesn't own... Like, it's not his.
No, I know.
If I was Tolkien, I would be like, you need my blessing. But, Peter Jackson doesn't own Lord of the Rings.
No, I'm sure he's not like, you need my blessing, but I'm sure it was just, like, a nice thing because he probably cares a lot about it.
Yeah, I guess. I just think, like, I doubt, like, the Shadow of Mordor games people went up to Peter Jackson and were like, hey, Peter, we have an idea for a video game that we have the rights to make, but we just thought we'd ask you if you wanted us to do it. Like,
yeah, I guess.
It's nice. I just... The word blessing is what's weird in there to me.
Yeah,
If the article said, like, and they consulted Peter Jackson on the movie, it wouldn't be weird to me. I'd be like, yeah, consult him. He makes really great Lord of the Rings stuff. That makes sense. But, like, this whole, like, hat in hand, like, we went to Peter Jackson for his blessing for our Lord of the Rings animated movie is just weird to me.
We brought 7 cows to marry our daughter. Like,
Shin in the chat is saying no one likes to be rude. That is not true. There are plenty of people who enjoy being rude, and they are not people I like.
YouTube comments.
Ayo! We're streaming on YouTube right now.
I know. They know.
Heroine is saying, I think adding nudity just alienates a bit of potential part of the fans. 100%.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a choice. It was a choice, and it might backfire.
I don't know. I do remember Peter Jackson did film a scene in the original Lord of the Rings where the Prancing Pony was actually a strip club that the hobbits all went to.
Are you making up the news?
Yeah, they went to meet Strider in the Prancing Pony, which was a strip club in the Shire, and the scene was cut for obvious reasons, but they did film it.
God. The Prancing Pony, that now feels much different, and I don't like it.
But you know, the sign was a little bit different. It did say Prancing Pony Gentlemen's Club.
I have a feeling there's no gentlemen's clubs in Middle-earth.
You would be wrong.
Nah, everybody there is cool.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I love the idea that there's, like, a strip club in, like, the Dwarven Kingdom. And, like, the dwarves all go to the strip club, but everyone has a beard, so they just have a hard time, like...
You gotta lift it up to see who's who, like...
God damn it.
Oh, God.
Oh, can you imagine, like, Frodo going to a strip club? That poor boy.
No. I can't
that
imagine...
poor 55-year-old boy.
I can't imagine Elijah Wood going to a strip club.
I can 10,000% imagine Elijah Wood in a strip club.
No, look at his face. He looks 7.
No, I've seen too many things that he's been in since then. My version of Elijah Wood has changed over the years.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Heroine is saying you can do sexual scenes without nudity, though, if that is necessary for the story. I agree, but I also think that, like, if you're going to tell an adult story, it's fine to have nudity in it. I just don't think that the Lord of the Rings necessarily needs to be an adult story.
Well, here's the thing. There are definitely adult things and adult stories within the Lord of the Rings that are not necessarily kid-friendly. And so if this is going to be kind of a darker corner of Middle-earth, then sure, maybe there's nudity. Like, maybe the reasoning behind it was, well, it's not going to be for kids anyways.
Yeah, and here's my thing. If your story is not emotionally... If you tell a story that is not emotionally for people under the age of 18, have nudity in it. Like, I don't care. I don't think nudity is gross. I don't think nudity, like, ruins something. And, you know, I think that there's a lot of content out there that doesn't have nudity in it that also isn't for kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just think that, like, I think that we are too puritanical about nudity. And we get so, like, oh my god, I saw boobs! What am I gonna do? You know? And it's like, they're boobs.
Yeah.
We all have them. When I was chubbier, I had them. You know what I mean? Like, get over it. It's just boobs. It's not the end of the world. And, like, people get so upset about women's nipples. But they'll look at men's nipples, and they look exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like, if you did a super close-up of the nipple, you wouldn't be able to tell.
Yeah.
And so, that's just where I get to the point where I'm like, I don't know.
I'm happy to normalize nudity in, like, non-sexual situations. And maybe, maybe Lord of the Rings will be more of that?
No.
Like, I don't know. I'm just guessing.
They're going to Pound Town. I'm telling you right now.
Probably.
We're going to see Galadriel get laid in this show, and we're all gonna feel weird about it.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
I want her to go like black and white, like Galadriel mid-sex. That's my goal. That's my dream.
No.
Is that she's like going at it, and then she's like,
you shall have a queen. No. I am all for the movement of like making of separating nudity from sexuality, because I think it's like really important, especially for kids, to know that their bodies are normal.
I agree with that.
Like, you know, and so I that's what I would like it to be. I don't think that's going to be the case with The Lord of the Rings. I think I agree. It's going to be sexual, but I don't know. I really want to know how Amazon is going to handle this. Because I know a lot of people are really against it. I don't like it. Like you said, there's stuff filmed. Nobody's like, the petition's not going to do anything. I hate to break it to you, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's already done. Yeah, they're deep into post now, because that's supposed to come out early next year, I think.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I cannot wait to do a trailer reaction to that. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
What you Kate is saying what they didn't like about reading Lord of the Rings was the severe lack of character development. And so you're happy to see anything that resembles that in the television or movie iterations. I agree with that. I think that the movies do a better job of showing the characters growing throughout the story than the books do. Because the books were written at a certain time, and there was a certain, stiff upper lip British, like...
aloofness.
Yeah. To them. And I think that the movies... I think the movies do a better job of actually showing how the characters change throughout the books.
Yeah.
Particularly Frodo. I actually don't... This might be slightly controversial. I don't love Book Frodo.
That's fair.
I love Book Sam, but I don't love Book Frodo. Movies, I love them both. And I prefer the way the movies portray Frodo as a character and his arc emotionally. And I think a lot of that is Elijah Wood. I think Elijah Wood, especially in like... Elijah Wood just brings so much in his eyes in those movies. And I think... I think it's wonderful. I kind of agree with what Kate's saying there.
I get that.
Heroine is saying having all nudity be involved in sexual scenes only sexualizes it more. That's not actually a problem with the scenes, in my opinion. That is a problem with the way that we rate movies in terms of like age guidelines. It isn't the movies that are sexualizing in that situation. It is the fact that having nudity in your movie makes it an adult movie. That is the problem, right? So we have this system where the MPAA says that like if you show women's boobs, you're going to be rated as a more adult film. And so in order, if there are boobs in a movie, it probably is a more adult film, because they're the people who are willing to deal with that rating and to market around that rating and stuff like that. And so you're not going to have boobs casually in a PG-13 movie, because then it's not a PG-13 movie. And so it's actually kind of a domino effect of how the rating system has created the rating system is a problem. And we need some kind of rating system. I really hate the one that we have. But I did not expect to talk about that as much in Lord of the Rings, but here we are.
It's a good chat.
We have two big stories left in the day, y'all.
It didn't disappear.
What?
It didn't disappear. Yeah.
I really wanted to talk about how Jamila Al-Jamil, the star of The Good Place, has been cast as Titania in She-Hulk. She will be playing the villain opposite Tatiana Maslany, and we love her.
I'm so excited for that.
We absolutely love her. Yeah, she's gonna be Titania.
Oh my god, I've never seen her in anything else other than The Good Place, but she's incredible. She's
so good, and I think Titania is such a fun character to play. For those of you who don't know, Titania is a character from Marvel Comics who was pretty small for her age as a child, and was just a normal human child, but ended up getting taken to an alien planet and becomes a giantess. And so she is physically the size and strength of She-Hulk, and is one of her greatest villains. And here's the thing. Jamila Al-Jamil, first of all, is an incredible human. Has a message that I really love and support. And so seeing her like be in a Marvel project and like having more people find her voice and hearing, what she has to say about nudity and what she has to say about the female body image and the way that it's treated by society and about diet culture and stuff like that. I think
cancel culture, she has some really interesting thoughts as well.
She deserves a megaphone, and I'm glad that Marvel is like going to be showing her to more people, because she's so good. But also, She-Hulk is going to be a half-hour comedy. It's going to be a half-hour workplace law comedy, and Jamila Al-Jamil is the kind of actress who can bring comedic counterpoint to Tatiana Maslany
Yeah.
in a really solid way.
Uh-huh.
She kind of plays antagonist to Kristen Bell a lot in the Good Place.
Absolutely.
In a way that's really well done.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm so excited for that. I didn't know I needed it, and now I'm so happy.
Yeah, I think this is such brilliant casting. This She-Hulk series is shaping up to be the most interesting Disney Plus show to me. Because Tatiana Maslany is just unbelievable. Mark Ruffalo is in it as the Hulk.
Yeah.
He's been seen on set in his motion capture suit, which is so funny. Jamil Al-Jamil is the villain. It's a 30-minute lawyer comedy starring the Hulk, She-Hulk, and Titania. Like, what is this thing? I want it so bad.
Yeah, I need it.
And I'm just so excited. This is so cool.
Yeah, I love that.
All right, well, it's time to talk about the most important story of the day, but also like the most kind of like crunchy granola story of the day. And so I hope that you'll go along this adventure with me. For those of you who don't know, IATSE is the union that covers the majority of the people behind the scenes on a film set. Actors in front of the camera are covered by SAG-AFTRA. And then there are some other guilds and stuff. There's Cinematographers Guild, there's the Producers Guild, there's the Writers Guild, and there's the Directors Guild. I might be missing a guild. Anyway, but then IATSE covers the majority of the rest of the jobs behind the camera. You're talking catering, you're talking the drivers, you're talking like a lot of the grips and lighting and stuff like that. A lot of that falls under the banner of IATSE. They are the backbone of the movie and TV industry. We couldn't do anything without them. No. They are so wildly important. And their contract negotiations for their new West Coast contracts are up right now. They're happening, and unfortunately, they have been stalled. Yesterday, after they were originally looking at 2 weeks of negotiations, those negotiations have been going on for 4 weeks, and they walked away from the table yesterday and said they were going to be taking off. They were going to take a break until July 6th. And so they're going to continue negotiations next month. But the IATSE contract is only up until the end of July. So if they cannot come up with a contract by then, they could strike. They could go into a temporary contract. There's a lot of different things that could happen. But this is really important because this is kind of the first big contract that is being negotiated where the union is turning to the producers and saying, hey, we gave you concessions for new media. When Netflix started, when all of these streaming shows started, the unions, the Actors Union, IATSE, we gave them really nice contracts where they did not have to pay us as much because it was new media and it wasn't making as much money and it wasn't as proliferated and supported as traditional television and traditional films were.
Yep.
And so this is kind of the first negotiations where the union has said new media is not new anymore.
Yep.
It is time to start paying up because you are making money hand over fist for these streaming shows and we are not getting royalties. We are not getting paid as much. We are getting screwed and you are making more money than ever off our backs. And I had to talk about it here. I saved it for the end of the show because I know that like there might not be as many people interested in this, but it is really important that what IATSE is saying here gets passed to the other unions. It is really important that SAG-AFTRA hears this because we can no longer tolerate new media contracts. It's not new media anymore. It is the media. It is the main media. Yeah,
literally.
And, actors cannot survive without royalties. It is unfair for them to get to make money off of our work forever and for us to get paid one time.
Yeah.
That's not the way it's worked for the last 100 years in every other medium. It shouldn't be the way that this works. And I honestly, not taking royalties on new media from the beginning was a huge mistake. And I know why we did it. We wanted to support new media. We wanted to, as unions, support the growth of a new industry.
New jobs, more opportunity. It makes sense. But now...
But it's costing us.
Yeah. Like, if either of us were to book a contract for, like, cable TV versus Netflix, I bet you Netflix is going to make more money and more people are going to see it than it is on cable, but we're going to get, like, Netflix pays less.
Yep, 100%.
And that doesn't make sense anymore. So I really, I hope that IATSE is like firm in their negotiations, because what what they do is going to set a tone for everybody else.
IATSE is the strongest of the unions historically. They just have better bargaining position than SAG-AFTRA, and they typically take harder lines than the Actors Union does. It gets complicated because a lot of times Actors Union members are also producers and are also directors, and you know, like those things are blended a little bit more. But the IATSE union is really like is really the spinal cord of film and TV. If you like movies, if you like television, if you like any of this stuff, IATSE is really what makes it happen. It is why there is nothing that will get you blacklisted in film and TV faster than being rude to IATSE members.
Yeah.
Literally, you show them respect or you get out of our industry. You can be rude to other actors, you can be rude to a lot of people and get away with it. You cannot be rude to the union because IATSE is they are a group of people who they don't care.
Yeah.
They will win. You don't mess with them, you don't disrespect them, and you appreciate the fact that they're freaking amazing.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring that up. I'm in full support of I am in full support of IATSE in this. I hope they hold out. I hope that they don't cave. I hope they push because the union the industry needs to change. It really does. The industry needs to have a it really needs to go and find a way to bring everybody into streaming in a way that is mutually beneficial for everyone moving forward, so that actors and crew members and directors and all the people who work on this stuff don't get left in the cold while Jeff Bezos makes more money.
Yep.
I say as a Twitch streamer who gives 50% of my subscriptions to Jeff Bezos. So
Daddy Bezos. Oh, it's not Daddy Bezos anymore.
No, it's Daddy Jaffe or something. Daddy Jassy or
I don't remember. Yep.
Models in chat saying YouTube is also doing odd things with their shorts concept. They will give your copyright away in a concept called short sampling on every video you ever made if you don't turn it off.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that means. We'll have to look into that, Models.
Yeah, I can't comment because I'm not sure, but I'll have to look into that.
I think short sampling might be like stitching on TikTok.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, gotcha. Yeah, rights are also a weird thing on TikTok. I mean, rights are a weird thing on Twitch. Technically, if you're like a Twitch affiliate, they can use any of your material that you stream to their platform however they want. You kind of give away.
It's called a partnership agreement.
Wow.
We're YouTube partners. Like they could be like, hey, we need to use your video for something, and they
wouldn't have to like pay us.
No, they would have to. It's complicated. The problem is it's complicated.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but technically, yeah, they like own like technically like Twitch like owns like our like Twitch brand and image in a sense.
No.
Yeah. Like they could use like it's in the affiliate contract because I know I read the whole thing. And they can use your image, your likeness, your brand if they want.
Sort of. Like, no. They can be like Nerdy Nightly streams on Twitch, and they can use our logo in that. But they can't say, like, we are Nerdy Nightly.
No. But they can, like, take our videos, clips from our videos, moment. Like, they can use our likeness and our image.
Yeah. But only in so much as it's been on Twitch, right? But they can't, like, take our logo and, like, sell a t-shirt with our logo on it.
No.
You know, like, and here's the thing, like, those contracts seem like they're worded so that, like, oh, we completely own it for any use. They can't just use your logo or your image. Like, Twitch can't sell an image of my face.
No, but they can use it.
They could use it in, like, an ad about the fact that I'm on Twitch, but they can't be, like, they couldn't, like, crop my face from a Twitch stream into a separate thing and then represent me as something else.
No.
That would be illegal. Like, there are constraints on what they can do. They don't, like, own me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to be clear that, like, people freak out sometimes and they're like, if you sign the affiliate agreement, they can come take your computer because you streamed off of it. And I'm like, no, there are limitations. No. They can, like, put our logo in a Twitch ad and be like, look at who's on Twitch, and it could, like, scroll by. But they can't be like, we are going to stream under the name Nerdy Nightly.
No. Yeah, it's a weird world out there.
It is.
Anyways, I hope that they're able to.
There's a reason the Nightly Morning Show is now streamed live on YouTube. But that is our nightly morning show. If you watch this on YouTube, please like the video. Please leave some comments down below. Or if you dislike the video, dislike it. Like, actually click the button. And leave mean comments down below because the algorithm god is hungry and we must feed her. If you do listen to this over on your podcast feed and you have an Apple device, please consider going over to Apple Podcasts and rating this podcast as 5 stars. It's really the only way to grow as a podcast, unfortunately. It's hard to be discovered in that space.
Yeah.
And there are a bunch of you who listen. So thank you, everyone who downloads this and It's Just Video Games podcast each week. It means a lot to us. And we hope that you're enjoying us over there. You can also follow us over on Twitch, that service we were just talking about. I'm an affiliate owned by Daddy Bezos over at twitch.tv/nerdynightly.
I'm over at twitch.tv/ClarisTrakaris.
And as always, y'all, my name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
Do something nerdy tonight, you dang nerds. Bye.
No, you do the end screen.
Oh.